So picking up where we left off, I'm going to kind of continue to shift these a little bit. Not 100% happy with their placement. But you guys see that little grid that popped up? It's kind of telling me that it's, getting to that 50% mark. It's just going to help you align stuff. It likes to do that. All right, let's just try to get that a little bit closer. So now I have this, these are all individual shapes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go up a little bit over here on the left-hand side. I'm going to click and drag, and it's going to select everything. You guys can see that there's a lot more options that come up instead of just the flip horizontally, right? And so you have a couple different options here. One of them is Unite Add. That's not going to do a whole lot when everything's overlapped in one shape. I have Subtract, so it kind of cuts out those teardrop shapes in my circle. I have Intersect, and I have Exclude, right? So I'm going to go ahead and exclude those shapes. And what that's going to do, you guys can see in my Layers tab, it condensed them, right? So now they're just kind of freely there. It's a circle with 2 teardrops cut out, which is pretty cool, right? And so this is how you guys can manipulate very simple geometric designs initially for a tessellation, if that's the route you want to go, and make really intricate kind of patterns in the interior, similar to but not nearly as complex as some of the Islamic tiles that you guys saw in one of the presentations, right? So I'm going to kind of continue to add some teardrops here for fun, again, just to kind of give you guys an idea, and it'll help see how, oh, that's perfect. Let me try to get that again. It's going to help you try to line up things, right? It's going to do the best it can to kind of guide you, which is really helpful. Let's pick a different shape. Let's do a gear. Why not? I'm going to hold down the Shift key. Add some, steampunk things to this. All right, let's slide that back over. I don't quite want it in the circle. And again, this is super random. I'm just kind of pulling shapes together, but just to kind of give you guys an idea. So when I highlighted those that didn't necessarily, when I highlighted all those shapes, it didn't necessarily group them all together, but it kind of compiled them, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. Just click, drag, and drop. It's going to have the same options, but you guys can see that exclude now means something different. It's kind of taking those pieces from the triangles and the gears that's overlapping the circle and making it more ornate. If I hit subtract, which was the other one, now I have this kind of it's just taking the gear pieces out. And then, this is pretty much what you're already seeing, right? So I'm going to do the exclude one. I always think that one's so fascinating. I don't know why. Because it's cool, right? All right, so now I have this all together. It condensed it all into one thing. So not holding the Shift key, if I go to size this, I can make things really wonky, right? And so I can kind of play with distortion there. But, I kind of like the way it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste it. Now I have to, just to help you guys, I'm going to make this one a different color. Just doing that, even if it's placement colors, it just helps, right, to kind of keep things in order. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line these up, right? So I probably should have scaled them first, but here we are. So, just because I'm off my work surface doesn't mean I can't, manipulate the thing. So I'm going to make the gears touch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop both. I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit group. Right, that's going to make these kind of group together. They're still separate files, or they're still separate layers, excuse me. But it's just going to help for when I want to resize it, right? So I'm going to go to my resize tab. Maybe. Let's shift this over a little bit more. And then I'm going to get my tab, I'm going to hold down my Shift key. I'm going to shrink these little bad boys down quite a bit. Can always kind of move my screen over a little bit more. Moved it too far. That happens a lot. I don't have as good control with a mouse as I think I do, right? So now I have these are pretty, still pretty large shapes, so I can keep making them smaller if I want. And now what I can do with the group is I can copy and paste both, right? Copy, paste. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so I have both copy and pasted, and now I can kind of play around with lining them up again. And you guys see it's creating these really ornate, negative space shapes. It can be really cool to help in this design.